संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Durga Saptashati or Chandi or Devi Mahatmyam. We are studying the third chapter, that is Tritiyodhyayaha. We shall begin our program by chanting one of the meditation verses on Mahalakshmi, Dhyanam, the meditation on Mahalakshmi. I will chant that. All of you can chant the same after me. उद्यद्भानुसहस्रकान्तिम् अरुणक्षौमां शिरोमालिकाम् रक्तालिप्तपयोधरां जपवतीं विद्याम् अभीतिं वरम् हस्ताब्जैर्दधतीं त्रिनेत्रविलसत् वक्त्रारविन्दश्रियम् देवीं बद्धहिमांशुरत्नमुकुटां वन्दे रवीन्धस्थिताम्. We are now to learn the chanting of the verses in the Tritiyodhyayaha, that is the third chapter, from 29th verse onwards. So it is on page 47, Tritiyodhyayaha. Sakshiptva tasya vaipasham tam babandha mahasuram तत्याज महिषं रूपं सोपि बद्धो महामृधे. That is the 29th verse. We shall chant that verse. Sakshiptva tasya vaipasham tam babandha mahasuram तत्याज महिषं रूपं सोपि बद्धो महामृधे. Please do not tamper the sound system, it will disturb me. Don't put any music or tabla. Once you set it, please keep quiet. Do not change any things, it will disturb my flow of thoughts. The simple meaning of 29th verse is the Divine Mother, while she is continuing to fight with Mahishasura, the buffalo-headed demon, she flung her noose over him and bound the great Asura. Thus bound in that great battle. Now he had magical powers, so he could quit his buffalo form, the body of the buffalo, and he took up another body. So now we have to note that the noose, in America, the cowboys or even anybody, the cowherds will have lasso. So they will throw that lasso around the neck of the cow to catch hold of it, or any other animals or even human beings. Similar to that, we have the noose. So it will be a rope or some other material which will be very strong. So the Divine Mother now, she flung her noose over Mahishasura and bound the great Asura. Thus bound in the great battle, because he is bound, he cannot wriggle out of it. So he gave up that body, the buffalo form which he had, and he quit his buffalo form. So let us go to the word to word meaning. Now we went through the simple meaning. We shall now go to the word to word meaning of this same verse, the 29th verse. सा क्षिप्त्वा तस्य वैपाशं तं बबन्ध महासुरं तत्याज माहिषं रूपं सोऽपि बद्धो महामृधे. सा महामृधे, in that grand encounter, she, tasya, on to him, kshiptva, vaipasham, having cast the renowned noose, tam babandha mahasuram, she tied the great Asura, the demon, sopi baddho, even though bound. What did he do? Tatyaja mahisham rupam. Tyaja means give up. So he relinquished his buffalo form. So that is the word to word meaning of the verses. In the exalted fight between the Divine Mother, Durga, and the buffalo king, the bison king, Mahishasura, the Devi, the Divine Mother, threw her celebrated noose and enchained that demon Asura. Even though he was tied by that noose, he managed to forsake his buffalo body, facade. So we shall go to the chanting and study of the next verse. That is the 30th verse. Tataha simho bhavat sadyo yavat tasyambika shiraha chinatti tavat purushaha khatgapanira drishyata. Let us now chant this verse, 30th verse. Tataha simho bhavat sadyo, tataha simho bhavat sadyo, yavat tasyambika shiraha, yavat tasyambika shiraha, chinatti tavat purushaha, chinatti tavat purushaha, khadgapanira drishyata, khadgapaniradrashyata. So what is the simple meaning of this verse, 30th verse? Then he became a lion suddenly. In the last verse we saw Mahishasura gave up the buffalo form, the bison form. Now suddenly he took up a lion form. While Ambika, the Divine Mother, cut off the head of that lion form, the demon who had taken the lion form. So immediately again he changed that lion form or that body of the lion. He took the appearance of a man with a sword in his hand. Then he became a lion suddenly, while the Divine Mother Ambika cut off the head of his lion form. He took the appearance of a man with sword in hand. So that is the simple meaning of the 30th verse. Now we shall go to learn the chanting of the 31st verse. So what is the 31st verse? Tata evashu purusham Devi chichcheda sayakaihi tam khadga charmana sardham tataha sobhun mahagajaha. Let us now chant this verse. Tata evashu purusham, tata evashu purusham Devi chichchedasayakaihi, Devi chichchedasayakaihi tam khadga charmana sardham, tam khadga charmana sardham tatah sobhun mahagajaha, tatah sobhun mahagajaha. Let us see the simple meaning of this 31st verse. Immediately then the Divine Mother Devi with her arrows chopped off the man, the human being. The human being here is the form of that demon, human form of that demon, together with his sword and shield. Khadga is sword, charmana, charmadharam is shield, the armor. Then he took the form, immediately he took another form, that is the form of a elephant, gaja, elephant. Then he became a big elephant. So that is the 31st verse, simple meaning of the 31st verse. Immediately then the Devi, that is the Divine Mother, with her arrows chopped off the human form together with his sword and shields. Then Mahishasura, he became a big elephant. That is the 31st verse. Now we shall see the chanting of 32nd verse. Karenacha mahasimham tam chakarsha jagarjacha karshatastu karam Devi khadgena nirakrantata. Let us now chant this verse, 32nd verse. Karena cha mahasimham, karena cha mahasimham tam chakarsha jagarjacha, tam chakarsha jagarjacha karshatastu karam Devi, karshatastu karam Devi khadgena nirakrantata, khadgena nirakrantata. This is the way we have to chant the 32nd verse. Now we shall see the simple meaning of this 32nd verse. The elephant, he took that big elephant form, then with the trunk he tugged at her great lion with the trunk of that elephant form, he caught hold of the lion of the Divine Mother, Simhavahini. She was sitting on the lion, the Mount Lion, great lion, with his trunk, and roared loudly. But as he was trying to drag the lion of the Divine Mother, the Devi, cut off his trunk with her sword. That is the simple meaning of the 32nd verse. The elephant form taken by Mahishasura tugged at her great lion with his trunk and roared loudly. But as he was dragging, the Devi cut off his trunk with her sword. Now from 29, 30, 31st, 32 verses, we shall go to see the word-to-word meaning. Now the 29th verse, we have already seen the word-to-word meaning. We shall go to the 30th verse. Tataha abhavat sadyo simhaha. He then, that is Mahishasura, quickly transformed into a lion. Ambika, that is the Divine Mother, Ambika. Tasya shiraha, his head, that is the head of the lion which Mahishasura had taken now. Yavat chinatti, when she sheared off, when she cut off that head of the lion. Tavat, immediately then, adrishyata, he gave up that form and then he reappeared. In what way? Purushaha khadgapanihi. He took the form of a human being, a man with a sword and shield. Now the demon Mahishasura quickly metamorphosed into a lion. Then just as the Devi, the Divine Mother, severed his head, he immediately changed into a man with a sword. That is the word-to-word meaning of the 30th verse. Now we shall look into the 31st verse. Tat Devi, then the Divine Mother, Evashu Sayakaihi, quickly with the arrows, Purusham tam chicheda, apprehended that human form of Mahishasura. Khadgacharmana sardham, was armed with sword and shield. Tataha, so bhoon maha gajaha, then he turned into an enormous elephant. Then the Divine Mother accosted that human form of Mahishasura, who was equipped with sabre, that is the sword, and armor shield. Thereupon he transformed himself into gigantic elephant. That is the word-to-word meaning of the 31st verse. Karena cha mahasimham tam chakarsha jagarja cha karshatastu karam devi khadgena nirakrantata. That is the 32nd verse. We shall see the word-to-word meaning of the trunk. Chakarsha jagarja cha, he roared and dragged the lion on which the Divine Mother was sitting. Cha mahasimham, that great lion on which the Divine Mother was sitting. Devi too, then the Divine Mother, Devi herself, karshata karam, the very trunk of the demon that dragged the lion, khadgena nirakrantata, she cut it off with her sword. The elephant now the form of Mahishasura, roared and tugged at the mighty lion. Then the Divine Mother Devi slashed the tugging trunk with her sword. So that is the word-to-word meaning of the 32nd verse. Now we shall go to chant the next few verses, that is from 33rd verse onwards, we shall learn the chanting. The 33rd verse is Tato Mahasuro Bhuyo Mahisham Vapurastitaha Tathaiva Kshobhayamasa Trailokyam Sacharacharam. So let us now chant this 33rd verse. Tato Mahasuro Bhuyo Tato Mahasuro Bhuyo Mahisham Vapurastitaha Mahisham Vapurastitaha Tathaiva Kshobhayamasa Tathaiva Kshobhayamasa Trailokyam Sacharacharam Trailokyam Sacharacharam. The simple meaning of this 33rd verse is, the great Asura, the demon, then again resumed his buffalo form, buffalo shape, and shook the three worlds with their movable and immovable objects. Then we shall go to chant, learn the chanting of 34th verse. The 34th verse is Tataha Kruddha Jaganmata Chandika Panamuttamam Papau Punaha Punaschaiva Jaha Saruna Lochana. Let us now chant this 34th verse. Tataha Kruddha Jaganmata Tataha Kruddha Jaganmata Chandika Panamuttamam Chandika Panamuttamam Papau Punah Punaschaiva Papau Punah Punaschaiva Jaha Sarunalochana Jaha Sarunalochana. The simple meaning of this 34th verse is, enraged thereat of these various acts of Mahishasura the demon, the Divine Mother was enraged thereat. Chandika, the mother of all the worlds, quaffed a divine drink. She took the elixir or amrita, so that she drank that divine drink again and again, and laughed at this act of Mahishasura demon, and her eyes became red in anger. So when you get angry, then the blood rushes towards the brain and the eyes. So the color of the eyes changes. That is what now she is enraged thereat the behavior of this Asura. Mother Chandika, the mother of all the worlds, quaffed a divine drink. She drank the elixir or the amrita, pana, madhu again and again, and laughed. Her eyes now became red. So that is the simple meaning of the 34th verse. We are going into the 35th verse. So the 35th verse is Nanarda Chasuraha Sopi Balavirya Madodhataha Vishannabhyancha Chikshepa Chandikam Prati Bhudharan. So let us chant the 35th verse. Nanardachasurahasopi Nanardachasurahasopi Balavirya Madodhataha Balavirya Madodhataha Vishannabhyancha Chikshepa Vishannabhyancha Chikshepa Chandikam Prati Bhudharan Chandikam Prati Bhudharan. That is the way to chant the 35th verse. So we shall see the simple meaning of the 35th verse. And the Asura, the demon, also roared, intoxicated with his strength and valor. He was now puffed up by the pride. Why do we get puffed up? Intoxicated with the strength and valor of himself. So the Asura also roared, intoxicated with his strength and valor. And out of that intoxication, what did he do? He hurled mountains. He broke the mountains which were around. He hurled it at the Divine Mother. He hurled mountains against Chandika with his horns, because he had taken the buffalo form. Now with the horns he broke the mountains, and big mountains were hurled at the Divine Mother. That is the simple meaning of the 35th verse. Now we shall chant the 36th verse. What is the 36th verse? Sacha tan prahitam stena churnayanti sa ratotkaraihi sharotkaraihi. Then uvachatam madodhuta mukharaga kulaksharam. Now let us chant this 36th verse. Sa chatan prahitam stena sa chatan prahitam stena churnayanti sharotkaraihi churnayanti sharotkaraihi uvachatam madodhuta uvachatam madodhuta mukharaga kulaksharam mukharaga kulaksharam. That is the 36th verse. Let us see the simple meaning of the 36th verse. And the Divine Mother, with showers of arrows, pulverized those mountains, hurled at her by this Asura, the demon. And now she spoke to him in flurried words. The color of her face accentuated with the intoxication of the divine drink, that elixir. So she had taken in that drink, the madhu or the elixir, so that color of her face accentuated with the intoxication of the divine drink. Now that is the simple meaning of the 36th verse. So lastly, for today, we shall chant this last verse, the 38th verse. What is it? Devi Vacha. 37th will be Devi Vacha, because that is considered, because in this chanting of the Devi Mahatmyam, even Devi Vacha, the Divine Mother said, that is also considered very sacred mantra. So that is now taken as 37th verse, Devi Vacha, meaning the Divine Mother said. So that is now we shall chant the 38th verse. Garja Garja Kshanam Mudha Madhu Yavat Pibamyaham Maya Tvai Hate Traiva Garjishyantyashu devataha. So now let us learn the chanting of this 38th verse. Garja garja kshanam moodha, garja garja kshanam moodha, madhu yavat pibamyaham, madhu yavat pibamyaham, maya tvayai hate traiva, maya tvayai hate traiva, garjishyantyashu devataha, garjishyantyashu devataha. What is the simple meaning of this 38th verse? The 38th verse is telling the Devi, the Divine Mother said, roar, roar, O fool. Muda means fool. Roar. You are roaring, is it? Roar, roar, O fool. How much time can you roar? Just for a moment. O fool, you can roar for a moment. While I drink this elixir, madhu. The literal meaning of madhu means honey. But here, the divine drink, the amrita, elixir. While I drink this madhu, when after that, this very next moment, after I take this elixir or amrita, when you will be slain by me, then the devatas, the gods, the good people will soon roar in this very place. I am going to finish you up now in few seconds. Before that, I take this elixir, roar, roar as much as you like. After I take this elixir, I am going to finish you off. Then the devatas, the good people, will start roaring in this very place. So that is the mother, the Divine Mother roared herself, Devi Vacha. Now, we shall go to see the word-to-word meaning from 33 to 38th verse. Tato Mahasuro, then the notorious Asura demon Bhuyo again, Mahisham Vapurastitaha, assume the buffalo form, Tathaiva, then as before, Shobhayamasa, then he began to shake. Trailokya Sacharacharam, the three worlds with their mobile and stationary objects. Here mobile means, don't think the mobile you use, the phone, cell phone. It is mobile means that which is moving. Mobile and immobile. Immobile means that doesn't move, is immobile. Mobile means that which is moving. So here the three worlds with their mobile and stationary objects, Trailokya, Sacharacharam, Chara, Achara. Chara means that which moves, that is the animals and other things which moves. Achara means which are stationary, like trees, plants, and like the ocean, the mountains, and all the other things are Achara, Chara, Achara. So the three worlds with their mobile and stationary objects. The notorious Mahishasura demon transfigured to his buffalo form again and began to jolt all the animate and inanimate entities in all the three worlds. That is the word-to-word meaning of the 33rd verse. Now we shall go to see the 34th verse. In the 34th verse, it is telling, Tataha Jaganmata Chandika, then the enraged cosmic mother, Jaganmata. Jagat means cosmos, or this universe, the whole cosmos created. So she is the mother of the whole cosmos. Tataha Jaganmata, then the cosmic mother, Chandika. So when ordinarily when she is very pleased, soothing, she is Durga, Divine Mother. When she takes a fierce, enraged form. The same mother is called Chandika, Chandi. So then the enraged cosmic mother, Kruddha, annoyed at this behavior of Mahishasura, while he is shaking and troubling the whole world with all the animate and inanimate objects there. So that's why the Divine Mother, when he is troubling her creation, her children, so she has got angry, she is annoyed. So now you can see why the Divine Mother or God gets angry. The Lord gets angry when her children, the good children, are troubled. So Panamuttamam Pavau. See, she started drinking elixir, drank the drink, punaha punaha cha, again and again. Jahasa eva. And then hasa means she laughed. So in Hindi we tell hasmukh means one who has a smiling face, laughing face is called hasmukh. So here hasa means laughed. Jahasa means laughed again and again or loudly. Jahasa, laughed as it were. Arunalochana. Aruna means, see, when the sun rises or when it is going down, sun is going down, the sky turns crimson, red in color. So here Arunalochana means with red eyes, her eyes started getting red in color. The enraged mother of the world, whose eyes were bloodshot red in color, she became annoyed. She sipped the madhu, the divine drink, again and again. Again the drink, and she laughed. Then the 35th verse, let us see the word-to-word meaning of the 35th verse. Balavirya Madodhataha. So this Mahishasura is now puffed up with his valor and strength. He conceited by his might and bravery, that is Mahishasura the demon. Asura, Sopi, indeed that Asura. Nanarda, he yelled. He is now puffed up by his valor and strength. So Nanarda, he yelled at the Divine Mother, shouted, Chikshepacha, and tossed Bhudaran, the mountains. Bhu means the earth. Bhudharan means the mountains. Chandika Prati, towards that enraged mother who was laughing, he tossed the mountains. Chandika Prati, towards the Divine Mother. Vishannabhyam cha. How did he do that? He took with his horns, he started uprooting the mountains and throwing that towards the mother. Now the demon Mahishasura, puffed up with ego about his strength and valor, yelled at the Divine Mother and hurled mountains at her with his horns. That is the word-to-word meaning we studied now of the 35th verse. We are going to see the word-to-word meaning of 36th verse. Sharotkarai, Shara means arrow, with the arrows. Sacha, and the Divine Mother with her arrows. Churnayanti, Churna means powder. Churnayanti means she pulverized, the whole mountains which were coming hurled by this Mahishasura, she pulverized it, she powdered it, so that all the mountains became one to pulverize or powder. Tan prati hitamstena, the mountains thrown by the Mahishasura. Uvachatam, then she addressed that Mahishasura, the demon, she addressed him. Madodhata Mukhara Aruna Kulakshanam, explicit words to the face, colored by arrogance. With her arrows, the Devi crushed the mountains heaved by Mahishasura. Then, in precise words, she spoke to Mahishasura, who bore a countenance hued with vanity. Now, the last verse, Devi Vacha, the Devi remarked, and the 38th verse, Garja Garja Kshanam Muda, that is that one. Yavat Pibamyaham, while I am drinking this divine drink, the elixir, while I drink Madhu, the elixir, Mudha, O fool Mahishasura, Garja Garja Kshanam, roar for the time being, Maya Tvayi Hate. But the moment I finish drinking this Madhu, the divine drink, when you will be killed by me, Maya Tvayi Hate. Atraiva, here in an instant itself. Jan, after that, Garjishyantyasu Devataha. Then my children, the good ones, the Devatas, the gods will roar ultimately. O fool, Mahishasura, you may roar while I drink this elixir. Soon you will be slain by me, and then it will be the gods who will have the last roar. So that is the word-to-word meaning. We shall now go to the significance and also the inner meaning and connect this Devi Mahatmyam which we have read to our day-to-day life. Now, we have seen in the last class all the demon commanders of Mahishasura were sent by Mahishasura were all slain by the Divine Mother or were killed by Mother with her divine weapons. Now, what are these divine weapons in us? That is at the macrocosm, at the bigger level, Divine Mother with her weapons, she killed all those demon commanders and kings. The weapon for us, the spiritual aspirant, sadhaka, uses is the strength he or she receives from God. So we have infinite strength within us, the mental strength, the emotional strength, the physical strength, so many varieties, the prana. See, we have different varieties of prana. What is prana? We offer food at that time, the prana energy comes to us. That's why we will, while we are offering food to God or when we are offering food to ourselves, we have to tell the mantra. Pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, vyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. These are all the 5 different energies, prana, which is present within us. So the food is to be offered to all these energies. So we have different energies here. Prana means energy, force. Then there are subtle energy. Prana means upgoing energy, downgoing energy, side-going energy. Now there is peristalsis. As you put the food into your throat, esophagus, it goes from your mouth after mastication, after you chew it, it goes to the throat, then it goes down. Then after that, it is not in your control. What is it taking? Even if you do Shirsasana upwards, the food will go to your stomach. What is that process? It's called peristalsis. That food tube will automatically, even if you have reversed or even a sleeping pose, it will slowly take the food to the stomach. So that force is acting there. Then that food is digested by the concentrated hydrochloric acid. Where does that hydrochloric acid come from? Concentrated. If you put all the worms and the germs will be burnt off, killed by that. So it will melt anything. So much of powerful acids are there. In the birds, have you seen that birds don't have teeth? They have beaks. So the birds have to be present in a place where there is stones. Without stones, they cannot survive. So after eating the food, what do the birds do? They go and eat birds. They will pick the stones and then eat it. Then the stone will go and there will be one stomach there. The food will be grinded. With the wet food will be grinded, just like we put into a grinder or a mixer. Like that with the stone, the food will be grinded. How is it done? These are all involuntary action. So there is energy, prana, physical, mental, varieties of different subtle energies are there. Then after that, it releases special acid in those birds, which will even melt the stone. The stone also will be melted. And I have seen, if you slowly watch the myna and other birds, the pigeons, when they have to feed the young birds, they are young ones, they don't bring the food. Many carnivores which eat meat and other things, they bring worms and after some time. But in the beginning, when the small birds, chicks cannot digest, they will eat the food, they will digest it, then they will take out back, vomit it, make it soft, easily digestible, and then feed the small ones. Notice it in the myna and the pigeons, the small birds. If you go to the Wi-Fi or internet, you can see that, how they feed it. So how that food which has gone in will come back? These are all different forces, prana, which are present in our body, in every animal. Who is given that? Who is there in the form of the energy? The Divine Mother. The Divine Mother who is providing all this energy. So why are we using, if it is all the power of the Divine, why are we using it in the wrong purpose? Why do we become demoniacal? So they tell that we have two different types of wolves in us. The good wolves and the bad wolves. So if you train that wolves nicely, just like in the house, if you train the dog, command with all the command. If you say stay, it will stay. If you tell eat, it will eat. If you tell charge, it will charge. Why? You have disciplined it. So the food given to you will be used for good purposes. So likewise, the prana and everything, if you give the food and other things to the wolves which are trained and good, they will become divine. If you feed the wolves which are there within you, like anger, hatred, aversion, jealousy, all the different types of wolves are also there within us. If you feed the same energy, the food given by the Divine Mother to these, then we become demoniacal. So these are the demons. So using the same power of the Divine Mother which is there within us as weapons, we have to kill these demoniacal forces. That is what here you can see. How do you take out a thorn which has gone into your feet? You have to take one more thorn or a needle and then take out that thorn which has entered in. Likewise, with the same force of the Divine Mother which is within us, you have to remove these negative energies. That is what you can see here. So the weapon a spiritual aspirant uses is the strength he or she has received from God. That is one's own inner divinity. It is called Daiva Balat Balanvitaha. We have been empowered by God's power. Everything that is within us is God's power. Weapons do not work by themselves. Can a gun fire by itself, the bullets? Can the arrow shoot the bow, shoot the arrow by itself? No. It needs a conscious principle to shoot it. So likewise here, weapons do not work by themselves. The strength which is within us do not activate by itself. Mother is there behind them, wielding them. When all the chiefs of Mahishasura, that is the demons, were killed, then came Mahishasura alone to fight with the Divine Mother. After Mahishasura's army was destroyed, that is after all the minor and major manifestation of the rope of delusion, ignorance which is within us, they're all the different commanders, the army generals and everybody, they're all the different manifestation of energy in the negative form. The rope of delusion, nuisance, were overcome by the spiritual aspirant. Finally, the three basic knots, the important, strongest ignorance, power of ignorance which is troubling us. What are they? What is that strongest three forces? Identification with the body. I am the body. I am different from this world and I am different from God. Non-identification with God, non-identification with all the living beings in the world. So that is the strongest forces which are troubling us, and identification with this body, mind, ego. These are all the three strong forces. Together they are like this Mahishasura, the demon, the strongest, the last bound ignorance which are there alone remains now, which is symbolized and personified as Mahishasura. First, this Mahishasura fights taking recourse to his ego of being the most powerful king. So in us as sadhaka, spiritual aspirant, it is the ego, the awareness of his being as independent individual, overconfident. Oh, I have earned so much of education, I have so much of money, I have so much of people behind me, I am the son of such and such person, I am the father of such and such great person, I identify with all the outer surroundings. That is that pride, that ego. So that is the one like Mahishasura now. First we have to fight, taking recourse that the Mahishasura, the ego, to his ego of being the most powerful king. In the case of us, it is the ego, the awareness of being an independent individual or confident of being a spiritual aspirant. Then mother, the divine mother, the energy, the mother who is present within at the microcosmic level, binds him with her noose. That was what we saw in the earlier verses. She binds that Mahishasura who has taken the form of the lion with the noose. So, noose, the pasha, that is the sadhaka binding his ego with unbroken repetition of the name of God and prayer. That is the binding force, the pasha which binds this ego. The Divine Mother using the pasha there. What is the pasha in us? The prayer, the japa, the repetition of the name of God. That is the pasha which is binding our ego. Now, that knows the pasha, sadhaka binding his ego with unbroken japa and prayer. At once, when you bind that ego, it takes the form of a lion, which in the case of us, the sadhaka spiritual aspirant, is ego taking intellectual and physical channels to engage, escape spiritual practices. So it will start fooling you. It will give lame excuses. Oh, today I am tired. Today I did lot of work, so I am tired. Let me escape. I will not do japa. I will not do spiritual practices. Today I will sleep a little more. Today I will go to a movie. Today I will go to some other entertainment. So your intellect will fool you. So taking another form, that will take another form like an elephant or some other human being, it will fool us. See how nicely all that thing is being interpreted here. At once, it takes the form of a lion. In us, in sadhaka, the ego is taking intellectual and physical, the physical channel to escape spiritual practices. Then, the mother in us, she cuts it with her sword. What is that sword? It's in the case of sadhaka. What is that sword? Viveka. What is Viveka? The discerning power which is present within us. What is that discerning power? The power of discrimination between the real and the unreal, the good and the bad, the God, that which is God and that which is not God, that power we have to discriminate or discern, that is called Viveka. That is the sword, the mother which is using to cut off these things. So, have you not noticed, when the Ajnana, when master, while in the process of sadhana, he was guided by his guru, that is Totapuri, he wanted to give him the experience of Nirakara, formless aspect of God. But the God or the form was troubling him. It was not giving up. Then how did the guru, the Totapuri, guide master Ramakrishna to? He told, use the discrimination power as your sword and cut off that form. That is how he took a bead of glass and pierced it. Concentrate here. Now use your power of discrimination like a sword and cut off that form which is troubling you. Then you will merge in the formless. Then Master did it like that. Then he merged in Samadhi, in the Nirakara, in the formless, attributeless Parabrahman. He was in Samadhi for 6 months. Now, that is the sword we have. What is the sword which is within us? The power of discrimination, the power of discerning, power, viveka. That is the power, the sword. So here in the sadhaka, the mother cuts it with her sword, which is in the case of the sadhaka, the viveka, the power of discrimination, which shows alternative methods and reveals the impermanency of objects, relations and events of life and the urgency of reaching God. Because we have no time now to do all these things, fighting. Why? Our life is too short. Very urgently we have to realize God. No time for all this play and game. So now that you have to use that viveka, so urgency of reaching God. Then now the demon takes the form of a man, which symbolizes ego, clinging to property and family, I and mine, and unwilling to have dispassion, renunciation. We get attached to family, we get attached to children, we get attached to near and dear ones, friends. So that will deceive us now. It will not allow you to have renunciation and think of God. Now the mother, Divine Mother, kills that who has taken the human form with arrows, which symbolizes various types of spiritual practices like puja, recitation, services, austerity, studies, surrender to God and holding on to the divine through the mantra given by the Guru, etc. Now, we have so nicely connected the events which is happening there in the killing of Mahishasura by the Divine Mother at the cosmic level, in our microcosmic level, that is in us as spiritual aspirants. We will, because now time is up, I will stop the discussion and we will continue the same. I think in the next class we can complete this Tritiyodyaya and we can go to the next chapter, the 4th chapter. So now, to end our today's conversation, we will hear the chanting of the Divine Mother, the glorification of the Divine Mother by the Devatas, Brahma and other different Devatas, gods. Sarvamangala Mangalye.
Jai